What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jaron Ikner, aka Black One, here for Starstruck TV with another reaction video. I actually was avoiding doing reactions and reviews for Game of Thrones for individual episodes until the season was done because I just didn't want to get into it, honestly. But after watching this episode, I just knew that I had to say some things real quick. So I'll talk about the good things first. This is the fifth episode of this final season, second to last episode of the whole thing. And this is basically the episode that everybody's been waiting for. This is it. This is like the climax of the entire show coming to this final head of this battle. The cinematography and the direction, fantastic. Some of the best stuff I've ever seen on TV. The sequence with the dragons is incredible. Clegane Bowl with the Hound versus the Mountain was pretty incredible visually, but you know the Hound was probably the only character in the entire episode who got true justice and a true fulfilling ending. And maybe that was the point of what George R.R. Martin was trying to do with the overall theme of Game of Thrones, in the sense that, you know, people aren't able to ever finish their stories. A hero's tale may never be complete, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like they definitely may have dropped the ball on a lot of things in this particular episode. And a lot of it had to do with the script and the flow of the episode. One scene in particular that had me tripping was the fact that when Euron showed up and happened to be just chilling in the same spot that Jamie was at, and then they had this long battle, very unnecessary. Also, Jamie Lannister's story was just, it just wasn't satisfying to me. And maybe, like I said, maybe this was the point of George R.R. Martin, but the fact that he wasn't there to kill Cersei and that he was there to just like die with her in this romantic ending for them to die together was really, really disappointing in the grand scheme of the character's development over literally 8 years. This is how it ends. It's very disappointing. You know, Daenerys' decision to burn down the city was kind of expected. And I think that was actually kind of my biggest issue with the entire episode, is that, like, basically everything that was said that the characters were going to do, they did. They didn't subvert any expectations. They just did what they were going to do. And I really feel that, like, I don't know, it felt squandered. I felt like the episode leading up for this being the one of, like, you know, one of the most greatest hyped up shows of all time, the episode fell short. And, you know, I don't think it could have, it could have been put together a lot better, just in terms of the writing flow of it, and the fact that a lot of characters just didn't get satisfying endings. But if you also know Game of Thrones, that's kind of what Game of Thrones is known for. So in those regards, I guess they hit it. But at the same time, there were so many different ways they could have approached this episode that would have been way more satisfying and way more fulfilling. It also came out today that HBO offered D&D 10 episodes, and they turned it down and did 6. Meaning they could have took more time to really flesh out this season, and I really wish that they would have, because it just felt so rushed. It just felt like it wasn't worth the wait, quite exactly. It was still good. It was still good visually. Still entertaining. I was still entertained by the episode. But when you think about the grand scheme of what Game of Thrones means, et cetera, and so forth, it just didn't feel the void, I guess. That was the best way to describe it. And, you know, there's only one more episode left. It's probably gonna happen that Daenerys is gonna die by the hands of either Jon or Arya, or maybe even Tyrion. But she's done. She's donezo. And that's another problem too with this episode, is that her character development leading up to this point would suggest that she would have done what she did in this episode, but she did it. And I guess that's the whole, like, genetics thing of her being a Targaryen, et cetera, and so forth. But it just felt kind of cheap in the grand scheme of things. It was exciting to watch, definitely, but it definitely felt like it was a cheap route to take when they could have did some more creative writing and took some time to flesh out the situation and really give us a much more grand understanding, because her turn this season is just so quick. I think that's the biggest issue that bothers me with Daenerys is that this entire episode, this entire show was about her journey through this and that, slavery, rape, literally being burned, all these things, and then her greed and her passion to be queen just ruins all that. And maybe that's the whole point. I don't know. I just know that there's a lot of this show that felt squandered and kind of tossed out the window because of this episode. And it kind of sucks, but we'll see how it all ends next episode. There's still one more episode left, and I'm hoping for a little bit more. I actually don't even know what I'm hoping for at this point. I don't even know what I'm rooting for anymore. This episode just kind of blew my mind. But what do you think? Let me know. This is your boy Jaron Ikner, aka Black One, from the reaction video. Leave your comments in the comment section and subscribe and like the video. We'll see you guys again soon with more reactions, reviews, and other cool stuff. One love. Peace. Woo.